Today on the Morning Edition, a woman saved this summer after being mauled by a bear is giving thanks to those who rescued her, recognizing their efforts in saving her life and giving her a chance to enjoy the holiday season. Plus, the AFD wants you to have a safe, happy, and emergency-free holiday this week and are offering some advice to avoid having them as unexpected guests for your holiday celebration. And later, a preview of one of television's most watched events of the year, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We'll take a sneak peek behind the scenes and get a tease of some of the performances to look forward to tomorrow morning as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. That's right. Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
That's right. You know, one of the funniest Thanksgiving cards I ever saw was a picture of a turkey with a surprised look on its face, and in the front said, "They put the stuffing where?" No. So I thought that was awesome.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Funny way to start off our morning. Let's get to our current conditions. Not quite as cold in the Anchorage metro area. And I'm going to let the graphics stay full screen because right after this, we're going to see why you need to be careful on the roads. Temperatures around the metro area, coldest on the east side at the Campbell Creek Science Center, 18 now at Anchorage International. That just went up a degree. This is why you have to be careful, because there are morning commuters out there that aren't always vehicles. And, you know, they just passed a sign that says, make sure to go slow, I think. So thank you to Mary Ellen Fritz. Those are some of the morning commuters she encountered. Let's get to our hourly forecast. And for the metro area, we're going to see partly cloudy skies as we start off the day, increasing clouds, however, as we go through the day. High temperatures should top out around the mid-20s, maybe even the upper 20s. But there's some changes going on. We had some nice sunshine despite the fog, but there will be some cloud cover moving in. You can see there's low pressure systems in the Gulf of Alaska that over the next couple of days will be pushing clouds in, even some moisture. Kodiak, you're going to see some rain for your Thanksgiving Day, probably today too. And parts of Prince William Sound will see a wintry mix. Anchorage is kind of right on the border. Here's where we stand this morning, seeing some snow on the south end of the Kenai Peninsula, pushing into the western side of the inlet. And as far as our daytime highs, we mentioned it would get to about 25 to 27 degrees. A Thanksgiving Day high temperature of 30. And we could see a chance of snow coming in late tonight. Maybe some snow flurries on Thursday, but certainly that will increase as we head into the weekend. A chance of rain and snow as temperatures increase and that area of low pressure moves overhead. I'll have more coming up later.
In this morning's top story, a bear mauling victim who was rescued on Dome Trail in Anchorage over the summer is giving thanks to the first responders who saved her life. Justin Matson spoke with the woman as well as two of the firefighters who received recognition.
Well, I didn't know I was bleeding as much as I was. In hindsight, I can't believe I wasn't more panicked than I was.
This Thanksgiving season, Victoria Lytle says she's thankful to be alive.
There were 100 staples in my head.
And thankful for those that rescued her.
I didn't expect a huge group like this. It's a little overwhelming. I kind of have to remember everybody's name and say thank you.
The Anchorage Fire Department expressing gratitude as well.
On July 22nd, 2025, firefighters Sean McMillan and Stephanisle Johns performed an act of conspicuous heroism.
The rescuers commemorated.
I think I'd be lying if I said it wasn't stressful.
There's sort of like this fog that occurs until we sort out exactly where people are at and what the exact situation is.
The men deemed heroes were given their flowers, but they gave credit to their colleagues.
I am one part of a big group of people that was instrumental in getting her found and off the hill and treated and to the hospital. And
you know, here within the Anchorage Fire Department, every single day, my colleagues are doing phenomenal, amazing things and making a difference.
Making a difference in the form of saving Victoria Lytle's life, enabling her to celebrate another holiday season. Justin Matson, Alaska's news source.
Well, experts are predicting one of the busiest holiday travel seasons on record. Our Joe Allgood checked out Anchorage International at the start of the travel period to see how travelers are doing here in Alaska.
Well, it's the holiday season, so whoop-de-doo and hickory dock, don't forget to check your flight status. This year, AAA is expecting as many as 6 million Americans to be flying the week of Thanksgiving, so it's important that you're prepared.
Well, since we woke up at 4 in the morning, got to the airport around 6, so the TSA line was not bad at all, but if we went a little later, it probably would have been a nightmare.
Jason Vignier was one of 2.5 million people screened by TSA on Tuesday, boarding one of 52,000 flights that took off across the country.
Normally, when I fly down here from Dead Horse, it's half the plane's full. I mean, it was jam-packed. My flight to Denver's jam-packed. To Billings isn't so bad, but it's a lot of people out.
Around 73 million people are expected to travel by car, but that number could rise if air travelers face cancellations. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said there is solid staffing in the air traffic control system. He did offer a word of advice, though.
I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport.
Regardless of attire, travelers are just excited to be home for the holidays.
I'm thankful that I was able this year to get to go home early so I can spend time with my family and friends at home and just be with everybody.
Got to be thankful for your family on Thanksgiving, right? I mean, since my family's all spread around the country, I don't really get to see them that often, so this is it's pretty exciting for me.
Well, you might not have to take your shoes off in the security line anymore, but experts still advise you to arrive 2 hours early for domestic flights and 3 hours early for any international flights. And maybe keep the pajamas in the suitcase. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Well, the Fairbanks Food Bank is making its final push to get 3,300 Thanksgiving boxes ready for distribution today. The operation has spanned weeks with more than 400 volunteers sorting donations and packing turkeys and sides. Local law enforcement also chipped in, delivering 135,000 pounds of food. Thanksgiving boxes are available for pickup today in Fairbanks and North Pole. The food bank is still looking for more donations of cranberries, rolls, and yams if possible. Well, family, football, feasting, those are all things that come to mind when you think of Thanksgiving, but there's something else that should also come to mind first: fire safety. Jace Bertrand connected with AFD to discuss ways to prevent the unimaginable and keep your holiday emergency-free.
The number one cause of home fires is unattended cooking. And so we do respond to a lot of cooking fires, a whole bunch of cooking fires, and that's very preventable.
It's a sight that has become well known in recent years. Deep-fried turkeys causing an inferno. Anchorage Fire Department Fire Marshal Brian Dean suggests taking precautions before dipping your frozen turkey in oil.
Certainly you don't want to put a frozen turkey in hot oil. If you fill up your pot with oil and then you drop your turkey in, it could overflow. That overflowing oil will ignite and could also have catastrophic effects. Put the turkey in before it's hot, then you know how much oil that you actually need in your pot, and then heat it up afterwards, and then put it in after you have the right amount in there.
Another fire risk during the holidays are live Christmas trees, which become flammable when they dry out.
You don't want your tree close to anything that could catch it on fire. Keep an eye on the amount of lights that you're putting out, the number of cords that are involved in it. You certainly don't want your Christmas tree adjacent to your wood stove or your fireplace.
Above all, Dean urges the importance of working fire alarms.
Early notification is the number one way that you can escape or know of an incident that happens early enough that you can either deal with it or get out.
It's a simple precaution that can help make the holiday season magical and safe. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, a missing woman from Valdez whose car has been found at the recent fire at Glen Allen Caribou Hotel is now at the center of a missing persons investigation. We'll bring you the latest.
Well, here's a look at those daylight hours for today. Anchorage seeing a sunset this evening before 4 p.m., 3:58. And shorter days for Fairbanks, Juneau, as well as Bethel. I'll have a look at that forecast as we head into the holiday right after this.
Welcome back in on this Wednesday morning and the day before Thanksgiving. Jackie, what can people expect ahead of the holiday weather-wise?
Some warmer temperatures are coming our way, and even a chance of some mixed precipitation across the south central region. Here's a look at where Anchorage, Fairbanks, Palmer, and Juneau stand as we get into the morning hours. 18 above in Anchorage. It is 0 in Fairbanks, but yesterday at this time they were seeing some below zero temperatures. 22 now in Palmer, and Juneau at 26. Now getting into our current temperatures across the state. Coldest up along the Arctic slope where there are sub-zero readings at 9 below for Utqiagvik, 6 below at Dead Horse. And the coldest air still remains entrenched right into the interior. Anchorage has made it up to 18 degrees. But check out these temperatures along the Aleutians, well above freezing. At St. George in Alaska, Cold Bay just above freezing at 33. Kodiak, 40 above. They could see even mid-40s as they go through the day. And into the Panhandle, temperatures have cooled for the northern sections to the central locations. Juneau starting the morning at 26 degrees, where it is 37 in Ketchikan. So areas of low pressure are pushing up from the south, and that means that they're bringing in a dose of warmer air plus precipitation. That will change from snow to even a rain-snow mix. Kodiak, it's expected to stay all rain, but this is going to be moving up slowly over the next 24 hours. Already you can see the clouds increasing over parts of the Kenai Peninsula. Anchorage will experience that as well. Now, as we move into the interior, you can see there's a special weather statement. What that means is that there's blowing snow that will pick up along the Dalton as well as the Elliott Highway summits. So that will cause low visibilities. Some of those winds could be up to 40 miles per hour. And if you've driven those highways, you know that limited visibility is a big safety issue. Across the south central region, we talked about the weather change coming. You can see it brewing just to our south. The clouds already moving across parts of the Kenai Peninsula, and precipitation angling toward the North Gulf Coast for this morning, but it will eventually head to Prince William Sound. So as we look ahead, we'll see the evolution of that storm system right over Kodiak as we go into this evening, pushing into the south central region tomorrow. Now, Anchorage is kind of right on the edge of this precipitation, but we could still see a chance of some light snow. It's a more definite chance for Prince William Sound and points east. Let's get to our forecast for today across the state. Above freezing temperatures until you hit Dillingham. They're at 30 degrees. I mentioned rain in Kodiak. They'll get up to 42. Temperatures stay into the single digits above the zero mark into the interior. 15 in Kotzebue, 22 for you in Nome. Single digits for both Utqiagvik and Dead Horse. We go to the 40s on the south end of the southeast panhandle. Back into south central Alaska, what we'll be looking at are temperatures increasing for many locations all the way north into Talkeetna, and Glen Allen sees a high temperature of 4 above. Our 7-day forecast, we'll see mostly cloudy skies as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures 25 to 27 degrees, 30 for your high on Thanksgiving, and then the warm-up ensues, and this is where we could see that rain-snow mix coming into play as we head into the weekend and next week. Check out 36 degrees there. Back to you, Kristen.
Well, it's that time of week when we look back at this week in Alaska's history. Justin Mattson and Bailey Braun take us into the archives from 2 prison breaks, one involving a human and one with a cute animal. But you'll have to tune in to find out how they did it. And there's an interesting protest. Check it out on our free streaming app on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku TV. Now to continuing coverage of Halong's impacts. A Kipnuk man is leading the local village recovery efforts after his family home was flooded. But the home Bert Paul grew up in is now 300 yards away from its foundation after floating away in the storm surge. Paul says the home served as a gathering place for multiple generations of his family. Now this home, along with dozens of others, sits frozen. Paul said the water reached about 4 inches deep inside his family's home. Though the house's floating may have prevented deeper flooding, the village of Kipnuk leaders are not allowing people to move back while their homes remain unlivable, but welcomes evacuated residents to return for a day to pick up their belongings.
We may not get everything done in a day, but we are moving forward and doing what we we can.
You can watch the full report from Augusta McDonald's In-Depth Look live right now on our website and mobile app. Well, the massive fire that swept through the Glen Allen Caribou Hotel 2 weeks ago is now part of a missing person investigation after a discovery at the business, according to Alaska State Troopers. We first reported the possible connection on Monday. Since then, we've been reaching out for information. Danny Tompkins has the newest details.
What started as a devastating hotel fire has become something possibly more troubling. For those that have worried about a loved one who didn't come back when expected, this will hit close to home. Mary Jo Evans was thought to be driving to Anchorage on November 11th. Instead, her blue Ford Escape was found on November 12th in Glen Allen, having been burned in the hotel fire.
They have the list of all the guests that were signed in. My friends work at the hotel, so they turned that over right away, pretty much.
When asked if Evans was staying at the hotel the night of November 11th, the City of Valdez, the Caribou Hotel, and the Department of Public Safety all responded with no comment. Evans' family worried for her whereabouts as she plays an important role in Valdez.
She was part of the fabric of our community, and it's upsetting to know that she is missing and remains missing.
Evans' timeline is still developing. Her family last heard from her on November 5th. The last public sighting of her was on November 8th, and the search didn't start until November 19th.
The big concern was they hadn't heard from her in a few weeks.
With Evans still missing, the case escalated to a multi-agency investigation involving state troopers and the fire marshal.
It's always elevated when you're bringing in other agencies. We're working closely with the Department of Public Safety and the fire marshal.
Hopefully that the troopers, they get in the specialists, they bring in some dogs to clear the scene and just, eliminate as many possibilities as possible.
In small Alaska communities, everyone knows everyone.
Valdez is a small community. We're a tight-knit community, and especially in situations like this, we really come together and look out for one another.
In places like Valdez, everyone feels the loss when someone is missing. Evans' family waits for answers, but they aren't waiting alone. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Investigators are asking anyone with information about Evans' whereabouts between November 5th and 11th to contact state troopers.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.